Yes, some DJ Solo B, Worldwide Sounds, Dope DJs, Crowd Controllers, Genre Kings, and on and so on.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming out, man.
Yes, yes.
I would probably call you the most persistent DJ in the city.
Wow,
Some heavy duty persistent. You got yourself here.
Yes.
And obviously, you had the cosign from JDough after I asked him about you, but your own persistence, coming at me and trying to get on and that whole process, and I am a man of my word.
Yes, you are.
And if I if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it, and I really feel like that's the hallmark of hip hop is that credibility and that respect that you have to give other people.
Yeah. Keeping it real, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely. And that's what I'm trying to do. Being, as create as much good karma as possible.
Of course.
So I definitely want to say that we appreciate you coming out to the jams. How was that experience for you?
It was a great experience. Definitely. When that light hits, right? You start sweating. What you came with, like what you were prepared with, it goes out the window. You start thinking differently. I was a bit nervous. And also,
I think JDough picked up on that as well. He's like, he's a little bit nervous.
I was a bit nervous because I was time restricted. I was given a certain amount of time.
Yeah. And some DJs listened to the 5 minute like you, and then others went for 14 minutes.
Yeah.
And maybe that's kind of like our fault for not, being as tight. But, the same way that this is media training for you, this is, training for us.
Yeah.
And that's why, we try to do as much as we can so we can learn as much as we can.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. Definitely. It's a learning experience. But, once that light hits again, believe me, if I'm given another opportunity, it's definitely not going to be the
same.
And
you've been reading and watching about the DJ Jam battle that's coming up. Now, I don't know exactly how they're going to be branding it, but they're calling it a battle. And for me... everybody has battles. Like I need to come with some like original type of title, but because really, I don't want to say it's not about the competition, but it's also like from a business level about collaborating.
Definitely. I don't have any ideas on how you should name them. A battle is a battle. So
and what I would say is come in a little bit closer on the mic. Yeah, that sounds a little bit
definitely
better.
Don't have any ideas on
like a live event.
Definitely a live event where people can display their talent and with the lights hitting them. No rehearsals, nothing. Just you should be given a genre of music, play it, a certain style. You should be able to do it. Make it harder.
Sure.
I think making it harder for people because
Because you had a couple pointers, like right as we walked in, you talked a little bit about the rest of the DJs just playing songs. Like, can you talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah. So
because you're an OG. You know what I'm saying? Like
course,
you're you're in your own lane. Like to talk a little bit about your background too, because I know we first talked about the jam. Like, what is your background? Like, where do you come from?
Well, I'm originally from the Bronx, home of hip hop. So I see hip hop a little different than others. I see it progress and transform into what it is.
I mean,
today.
look, I'm here doing this.
Yeah,
man.
I also want to know how you got involved with hip hop too.
Absolutely.
But that's like my background. Growing up in New York, you're accustomed to different cultures, so you kind of have to have a wide range of music.
What types of different cultures?
So you have Hispanics. So you want to play merengue, salsa. You have people from the Caribbean. So you have reggae. You have calypso. Also people from Africa. So the Afro beats, the high life music, those kind of sounds, right? So you have to, dig in your bag. You have
and that's interesting. And that's like the whole purpose of having you come out here in order to educate.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a big part that's missing, whether or not it's from Cincinnati or it's from, the rest of the United States, that, really it, the progression is what needs to be spoken about.
You're right.
You know, so how have you seen it progress in your life?
Well, it's what as far as like
hip hop and like from the time that you were younger and you first got into it to now.
Yeah,
because you're in a unique situation. You can talk about this.
Definitely, I am in a unique situation. It evolved. It was real much gritty when hip hop started. It was a dirty look. It wasn't. Always
so for
clean.
example, who would you say that someone's dirty?
Dirty. So Wu-Tang Clan or something. You know, every member of the Wu-Tang Clan, if you look at them, you like, you know, they look dirty or whatever at that time. But think about it. You know, look at Wu-Tang Clan back then and look at them now. You know, and what they have done and evolved into. So it just got more prettier.
Yeah, and for example, like Wu-Tang isn't even a part of my generation.
Yeah, it's not part of your generation.
Yeah, exactly.
But as a fan of hip hop, you should know Wu-Tang, right?
Yeah, and especially like we were talking about JDough and my background with him doing the Freestyle Friday. That, you know, me as a kid on the east side of town, the far east side of town, you know, the only hip hop I had was The Wiz and DJ JDough. Yeah. You know, so I really was not exposed to Wu-Tang Clan. Yeah. You know, like my hip hop consisted of Kid Cudi, Mac Miller, Wiz Khalifa. You know, those are the artists. You know, and Drake to a certain extent, and my best friend at the time was such a Drake hater. You know, he was such a Drake hater back then, but you know, I was always, you know, a big fan of Drake. But you know, it's a different type of environment. Yeah. You know, with Jimmy Iovine coming in with Dr. Dre and Interscope and, you know, switching things up with DJ Khaled, you know, recording, you know, 3-4 features per song. Like, that's what's in my mind. You know, that's what I want to do at this compound out here, that I see so many artists, and I watch somebody like Quincy Jones, you know, talking about producing for Michael Jackson and how they produced well over 900 songs. True. In order to find 8 bangers. True. You know, in that if you're not putting in that time, or if you're going to a studio and spending $40 an hour, you're only maybe going to be able to get a song out. Yeah. You know, and then you've got these other artists that, you know, may get a record deal and, you know, they're buying Range Rovers instead of a studio in their basement. Yeah. You know, so I have a pretty good idea as far as like my background goes, if that, you know, answers a little bit of your questions. But so, you know, coming from New York and like I mentioned before, JDough, I don't want to call him your OG, but as far as to me, like that's how I got to know Solo Boat or DJ Solo B. You know, what's the whole background with that name and where that comes from?
Well, real name is Solomon, and my last name does start with a B. So if you cut it Solo Solomon, you know, it works. So it's me. It's, you know, so that was the name that I was given as a child. And the B, I threw that in there, you know. So that's just what I can
There you go. There you go. And then what is that background getting to know JDough? Like, where did you meet him originally?
So JDough, you know, I was a fan like you were, you know, listening to him on a Wiz. I attended Ohio Media School. I went to that school, and he was a fellow graduate as well. He would pass by from time to time. I pick his brain, and you know, we built a little rapport, and from there, you know, we're here now. You know?
Absolutely.
So definitely.
Yeah, big shout to DJ JDough. You know,
big shout out. Not only DJ JDough, also I got to give a shout out to Master Fresh DJ too. Also, he's someone I've broken bread with.
Yeah, we need to have him at the jams. Like, what other DJs would you suggest us to have at the jams?
So yeah, Master Fresh DJ. Also DJ Merc out.
Yeah, I just hung out with him at Prince Cincinnati's joint.
That's my boy right there. Also him. I don't know. I kind of the list is real
so
short.
that's pretty decent. Yeah, Merc out and
then Master Fresh.
Master
got
Fresh.
Those two right there.
And then does DJ Major League mix and because I think he's a DJ as well, right?
Yeah. I'm not familiar. I've never met him.
Yeah, I think he's another one of JDough's friends.
Okay. Yeah.
That's cool. So, and then as far as, you know, we talked a little bit about your home life, but what was your inspiration getting into music? Was it, you know, the situation that you were in? Was it a specific artist? You know, what was that influence in your life?
I think I was always influenced by music. And growing up in New York, you're either going to play ball, you know, you're going to rap, you're going to be a dancer, you're going to be a DJ. So the culture is there, it's there. So it kind of fell in my lap, I've always been like a writer. So people like Michael Jackson definitely influenced me, definitely pushed me out there. James Brown, the Marvin Gaye's, those those legends inspired me, to like kind of do my thing,
Yeah.
Because I was not only just a DJ, I also sang, I wrote music, and, I rapped as well, and I danced a little bit. So I was always around that music. And coming, my parents are from West Africa, Ghana. So
representing for Ghana.
Of course, right? Of course. Definitely. So the music I was listening to was called high life music. It was like jazz with like a reggae kind of sound. So I was always intrigued with these kinds of the beats, the music, different melodies. So,
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my background, both my grandparents immigrated from Germany.
Oh.
So a lot of polka music, waltzes, and I belong to a German club, and I've been dancing since I was 4 years old. Right. So I was, in that culture as far as musically with polka and waltz and doing a little bit of dancing myself. Nice. But at the same time, though, we had like 16 clubs, and they all had dance groups. And once a year, we'd all get together, like 2,000 people, and there'd be a DJ.
Wow.
And he was always whack. So that was one piece that always motivated me to get into music. Be like, all right, one day I'm gonna have a DJ that I can book for this show with all these 2,000 kids from all across the country that have giant bags. I'm talking about oil money. I'm talking about Cleveland Cavalier lawyer money. Yeah. That those are the kids that need to be listening to the artists and to the DJs that I can bring to the table.
Understand.
So that's a big part of my motivation to get into music. Yeah. Because playing the same song over and over again, top 40,
it gets tiring. It gets tiring.
I feel like I'm at a wedding, and that's my biggest complaint about music, as far as DJs go, like at wedding. But I understand you're playing to a certain crowd.
Yeah, you normally get a playlist for the weddings. But also,
what experience do you have with different work?
With different work, it's definitely weddings, doing corporate events, doing kid events too. So everything is like clean, that I do. But also too, I wanted to touch on that. When I came out here, I definitely was inspired by a whack DJ to definitely pursue this DJ career and come out and play music, worldly music, more music, not just the top 40.
Yeah. So because for me, like, listening, with my dad when I was younger, all this rock, guess what? They're not continuing to put out work. Like, their work is over. Like, you're going to be listening to the same rock songs for the next 60 years. Yeah. And the difference with hip-hop is, like, there's constantly things coming out that are new. Yes. So that's a big part of it, that I want to hear something I've never heard before every time that I listen to something. Because it's the same thing, and I think it's tough because, people in their lives are just so comfortable. They want to go home, listen to The Voice, like watch American Idol, just, like they're drones, like they're just sheep. And never be challenged with anything.
And then you're hearing that in the artists too. They're becoming more lazy.
Yeah. The formula.
That's it.
Like I said, Jimmy Iovine.
Yes.
Big shout outs.
Yes.
What I'm saying? Like that's who I want to be.
Yes.
Obviously I'm not going to take, all your publishing. But,
so you're not going to be a culture vulture.
Yeah, exactly. But, and like I said, from a karma standpoint, that like, and we talked a little bit about money too, that it's like, but I guess in exchange for no money, I'm getting the culture. So
the experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I think, to talk a little bit about, some of my background, but do you know who Mac Niff is? He's a producer in the city.
No.
But he was one of the first producers that I worked with in the city. And then just, from doing work with him, I met up with a gentleman named Frank Oglesby.
Okay.
He has like a clothing shop downtown, and I just basically helped him with some promo videos, and he introduced me to Mac and Bridge from Hip Hop Period.
All right.
Do you know Hip Hop Period?
No.
Okay. And so we went to Bruno's house with Uptown Radio 513, and 1 week they were interviewing me, the following week I was running the show. And then the big issue was back then, in a lot of these studios, meeting Timeless, meeting Prodigious Recordings with Prodigy Rain, internet wasn't so hot. So if I wanted to live stream, and I've got all these gentlemen around, and I've never been in a studio before, am I about to tell those guys, like, oh yeah, well, turn off your Wi-Fi, like I need all the Wi-Fi, so that really didn't work out. But the more experience that I had, like obviously I've got all this equipment, so I'd go into a studio and then I just end up staying there all night because I had all this equipment to put away. Wow. And then I just developed the relationships with the studio owners. And Timeless closed down because they had to relocate because they were expanding the highway there into the spot that they're at now. Big shout out to Timeless Recordings for hosting us.
Definitely.
As well as, Prodigy Rain over there. Yeah. And so I just went from studio to studio and, building their social media followings and, building their content. And so that's a little bit about my background. And now that we have a relationship with Timeless and the relationship with Doubleson as well.
Yes.
So if you wanted to talk a little bit about your team, I just talked a lot about, people who are helping us out. Yeah. Talk a little bit about, who you have around you.
Yeah. So I grew up with two legends. One is called DJ Cass One. He's on Hot 97 in New York City. And we still talk. He definitely inspires me, and he definitely throws music at me and tells me, we talk. Also, Mark the Spot, he's on the West Coast. He's the Hollywood DJ, like the biggest DJ in Hollywood. That's also a friend of mine. We also talk. They're still part of the team, even visit him out there. He let me get on over there. And he's also the head DJ at One Oak. That's like the biggest club in LA. So on Tuesday nights, he's there. And also my team, I have another DJ, Spin Life. He's in New Jersey. He's with Fetty Wap's DJ, actually. I think the 1735 boys or 38 boys. So he's part of the team as well. Who else? I'm going to form a big team.
Yeah. All right, and now that we've talked a little bit about your team, if you want to go into, not only your short-term goals, things that are, easily attainable, if you could talk a little bit about your long-term vision and some things about that, as well as, different artists that you would want to work with in the future.
Okay. Well, short-term, of course, what DJ that you don't know that wants to go on a tour. So I definitely want to go on tour, work with other artists as well. And that's a short-term goal. Long-term, I'm not going to be DJing.
Yeah. So what other things do you have going on?
I'm going to go into A&R, producing. I got an ear for music, man. I don't make beats or anything like that. But I'm a great writer and I hear music differently. I'm a DJ. DJs are very, very important to music because we hear the music differently. Every producer that was a DJ at first, and so it all exists that way. Also, I want to give back in a major way. In Africa, I need to go back there. I got to build something.
Yeah, some Akon money.
Tell me, Akon, man. Yeah. He got a Fortune 500 company. I'm inspired by that. So I want to go and do that in a major way. And if I was to do like the world tour kind of thing, it wouldn't be hip hop. It'll be something totally different, man. Like I'll go with Celine Dion. You know what I'm saying? Toby Keith or something, just something totally different that would challenge me because I love new crowds, right? And I like when the crowd sees the DJ and they're expecting something, but I'm going to give something else. I'm going to play country, I'm going to play house music, I'm going to play all varieties of sound. So that's kind of the goal of mine that I want. I have a child, I have a new baby girl. So also I want to inspire her to DJ. I'm going to push her. So at 10 years old, she'll be throwing parties out here, Yeah.
We'll
be doing that.
Yeah.
So that's
Absolutely, and that's a part of College Beats that I've even thought about. That we should put College Beats up on the shelf, for our kids.
Yeah.
Because at the same time, like by the time we're in our 20s or 30s, like we're not going to be wanting to be in the college type of vibe for too much longer.
Not at all.
And maybe I'm different than my partner, because he's a little bit more in the frat type of lifestyle. But yeah, I mean that's a big thing, with kids and stuff, and putting them in the position.
Yeah, we got to leave something for the kids.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, so, definitely. Do you have any more questions for me, or do you have anything that you would want to talk about?
I mean, yo, TP. First of all, I want to thank you.
Absolutely.
For having me.
Yep.
And also thanking, giving DJs a platform, to see some of this jams and, getting to experience these DJs that, we hear about. So that's definitely, you smiling.
Yeah, if you want to check out the real juice, check out the Facebook Live.
No, well, it's no juice.
If you want the real juice.
It's no juice. But there is friendly competition everywhere. So, and I'm open to collabing with the DJs that's on here and the future DJs I meet. I definitely want to collab with them, so.